All right, thanks, guys. Memphis takes on South Florida, and that's going to be a 4 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that matchup here this afternoon. Now, Memphis is -4 on the road, total at 134. Not a whole lot of movement with regard to the sides here. Pretty good two-way action there, although we did see movement upward on the total. Memphis open and remains -4. Total open 132 up to 134. 68% are leaning Memphis, 65% shaded toward the over. And right now, South Florida is plus 155 on the money line. Now, if you like South Florida in this matchup here, just keep in mind they've dropped 4 out of their last 6 games. They lost to ECU and SMU during that stretch of losses. They're also averaging just 64 points per contest. Now, Memphis on the other side, they successfully covered the point spread in 6 out of their last 9 games. We're looking at Tennessee and NC State are just a couple of teams that they covered against during that stretch. Memphis is averaging 78 points per contest, and they rank in the top 5 in offensive rebounding. Precious Achiuwa, he's averaging 15 points a game, 10 rebounds and 2 blocks. And DJ Jeffries, 11 points a game, 5 rebounds for him. One more thing to add about Memphis, they rank in the top 35 in scoring, and they rank in the top 3 in defensive field goal percentage. Now, total-wise, Memphis is 5-3 to the under in their last 8. USF 6-3 to the under at home. I'm going to lean toward Memphis away from home here. Give me Memphis -4 and the under 134 in that game. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for Sunday's college basketball action. Happy Sunday to you. Now, before we go ahead and dive into some more of that action, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. We do daily premium sports picks on that site, beginning at just $1.99 per month. We have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. And, if you're wondering, well, why would I subscribe to a package there when I can just get all the picks for free here on YouTube? That's certainly a great thought, a great question. What we do here on YouTube is we pretty much handicap every single game to bet on the board, both the side and the total. And, the problem with that is if you were to bet your hard-earned money on every single game, side and total, that's a losing formula. You can't win that way. It's too many games. The math becomes grossly adjusted against you, just kind of throwing darts, betting everything on the board. So what we do on Patreon is we really narrow it down and focus in on 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're games that I personally have action on. And I tell you this much, my current Patreon record is a whole lot better than it is on YouTube right here on this program. Kind of throwing darts, picking every game on the board side and total. We don't take free passes here on YouTube. We don't, say, take the underdog or pass, or, this is a stay-away game for me. Certainly don't want to waste your time, so we're not going to break down a game and then take a free pass. But we simply, we formulate an opinion on every single game for content. And most importantly, just for your entertainment. But guys, don't bet every single game on the board side and total. That's what Patreon is for, to kind of guide you and focus you in on some premium selections there. But anyway, you can check out my current record for free right now. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below. My record is right on the Patreon homepage, and once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some more free lines and personal leans right here on YouTube. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And our next game, it's not on the big screen in the back, but it is a game of interest. I'm talking about Wright State taking on UIC. And, of course, that is Illinois-Chicago. And that's going to be a 4:12 Eastern tip-off in that game. Very bizarre tip-off time there, 4:12 Eastern tip-off. But regardless, Wright State is -6, total at 144. We saw a half a point move toward Wright State and movement downward on the total. The Raiders open as the 5.5 point favorite, up to -6. Total open 146, down to 144. 71% are leaning Wright State, 57% shaded toward the under. And right now, the Flames of UIC, they are plus 225 on the money line. Now, if you like Illinois-Chicago in this matchup here, just keep in mind they're really struggling to cover the point spread on their home court. They're just 3-6 ATS at home this year. They also lost their last 4 straight games. They're averaging just 65 points per contest. Meanwhile, they're giving up 72 points per contest on average per game. Now, Wright State on the other side, they're right in the middle of an 8-game winning streak. They covered 70% of their games in their last 10. They rank in the top 15 in scoring, top 15 in offensive rebounding. And guys, that's not in the conference. That's in the country. So very good in those statistics. Once again, Wright State, top 15 in scoring, top 15 in offensive rebounding. Bill Wampler, 15 points a game, 4 rebounds for him. And Loudon Love, 15 points a game, 10 rebounds for Wright State. The Raiders are averaging 82 points per contest, and they rank in the top 10 in road scoring. Now, total-wise, Wright State is 70% of the over in their last 10. I'm going to lean Raiders of Wright State -6 in the over 144 in that contest. Next game, once again, another game not on our board, but it's going to be the Pitt Panthers taking on the Miami Hurricanes, and that's going to be a 6 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that matchup. The Hurricanes are the 2.5-point favorite, total at 137. We did see a 1-point fade of Miami and movement downward on the total. The Hurricanes open 3.5 down to -2.5. Total open 138 down to 137. 51% are leaning Pitt. 67% shaded toward the under. And right now, the Pitt Panthers are plus $1.25 on the money line. Now, before I break down this game, I just want to stop real quick and ask my wife, who's walking around the house, is that a bra that I purchased you, or did you buy that?
Me.
You bought that. Okay. It's a very nice bra that you're wearing. Our blinds are open right now, so you're giving a nice display to the neighbors as well.
It's just a sports bra.
Yeah,
They see more in a bikini.
it's doing a good job.
Thanks.
It's a very nice bra. All right. So Pitt, 4-1 straight up away from home this year. 8-2 straight up in their last 10. Victories over UNC, Rutgers, NK State. The Panthers rank in the top 25 in points allowed. And defensively, they're holding their opponents to just 40% from the field. Trey McGowan is averaging 13 points a game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. And Xavier Johnson, 12 points a game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. This Pittsburgh squad, they're giving up just 61 points per contest away from home. Now, Miami, on the other side, losers of their last 2 straight. They're also giving up 73 points per contest on average. Now, total-wise, Miami is 70% to the over in their last 10. I'm going to lean Pitt Panthers plus 2.5 and the over 137 in that game. Next matchup, Utah taking on Colorado, 6 o'clock Eastern tip-off. The Buffaloes open 9.5 down to 8.5. Total open 140 down to 139. 59% are leaning Utah, 57% shaded toward the under. Right now, Utah is plus 335 on the money line. The Utes are also 5-2 against the spread in their last 7. Successful covers over the likes of Oregon State and Kentucky. They're averaging 78 points per contest. Meanwhile, they also rank in the top 30 in the nation in offensive field goal percentage. Timmy Allen's got 21 points a game, 8 rebounds for Utah. And Rylan Jones, 11 points a game, 5 assists. He's averaging for the Utes as well. Utah ranks in the top 3 in road offensive rebounding. Meanwhile, Colorado on the other side, they cover just 40% of their games in their last 10. They're also just 3-6 against the spread on their home court. Now, total-wise, 5 out of Colorado's last 5 games all got over the total. I'm going to lean Utah plus 8.5 and the over 139 in that game. Excuse me. All right. Next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be Arizona taking on Oregon State, 10 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Arizona's -4, total 144. We saw a half-a-point fade of Arizona and movement downward on the total. The Wildcats open 4.5 down to -4. Total open 145 down to 144. 61% are leaning Arizona, 52% shaded toward the under. Right now, Oregon State is plus $1.65 on the money line. Arizona 7-3 straight up in their last 10. Victories against Arizona State and Wake Forest during that stretch. They rank in the top 10 in the country in scoring, top 10 in offensive field goal percentage as well. Zeke Naji, he's averaging 16 points a game, 9 rebounds. And Nico Mannion, 15 points a game, 6 assists for Arizona. The Wildcats are averaging 82 points per contest. They're also shooting 49% from the field. They're ranking in the top 15 in defensive field goal percentage. They also rank in the top 10 in defending the 3-ball on the road. Now, Oregon State on the other side, just 2-3 straight up in their last 5. They did fail to cover the point spread in 3 out of those 5 games as well. And they are just 1-9 straight up in their last 10 head-to-head matchups with Arizona. So if you're into historical trends, Oregon State really not having a whole lot of success versus this Arizona squad. Now, total-wise, Oregon State is 4-0 to the over in their last 4, 6-2 to the over at home. I'm going to go ahead and lean Arizona -4 in the over 144 in that game.